Hello, everybody. Today I'm here with the Disney Heroes Battle Mode Update 2.7, and I'm so excited. I don't think we've ever gotten like two patch notes like this on the same day, but I will talk about that more at the end. Let's just get into it. We have Mr. Big and Koslov, the brand new duo for Zootopia, and then there's a collection for Inside Out, which I'm not really going to talk about, and Invasion Difficulty Scales, which is really cool, but I'm also not going to talk about. I'm just going to be talking about the character and some of the general other things with the update. So let's look at Mr. Big and Koslov. Now, the picture does not actually have Mr. Big. I'm assuming he's kind of holding him lower to the ground, or maybe Mr. Big is entirely moving on his own, but I don't really think he moved all that much in the movie. I think he like held him and he was in a chair in his hand or something. And again, at the end, like in my thumbnail picture, I have that picture of Mr. Big from the skill, and I really like how my thumbnail turned out. You get a really good look at how Mr. Big looks in this kind of style, but obviously we need to wait until the update actually comes out to really see it. But if you had ever told me you're gonna get another Zootopia character, who do you think it's gonna be? I would never have ever guessed Mr. Big and Koslov. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just don't think I would never like think of them as that important of a character in the movie, and like I don't know what moveset they would have. But I'm very curious. The moveset is mostly for Koslov, it seems like, and then Mr. Big kind of takes the is kind of just there, I guess. But I'm sure he'll do some stuff as well. I haven't really read the skills, but I just think it's a super cool concept. And a duo from Zootopia who I don't really know what other duos they do for Zootopia, so this makes a lot of sense. And you know, we just got Clawhauser just a little bit ago, and now we're getting Mr. Big and Koslov. I have to wonder, are we getting some more Zootopia characters? I kind of feel like we might, and maybe that's where we'll go in speculation in the future, because we don't really know what characters are coming other than that Big Hero 6, so maybe we're getting more Zootopia as well. But they're going to be a controlled duo and will be in the diamond crates, so I will do my best to unlock them on the first day. I should be able to through the black market. So let's go through the skills. The Polar Freeze. Mr. Big gives the signal to ice all enemies, scaring and then freezing them. If enemies are already frozen, Mr. Big deals damage to them. So I guess freezing them doesn't actually damage them, but if they are frozen already, like if he had used the skill already and they're still frozen, then he will actually hurt them. The Polar Punch. Koslov shields Mr. Big, granting them a shield and stacks of hardy. Then Koslov throws a punch at nearby enemies, dealing damage to them. Mr. Big also gains armor per frozen enemy he damages. So it says Mr. Big gains armor, not Koslov. Are they separate entities in kind of a way like Kristoff and Sven maybe? Or Raja and Jasmine? Is that kind of the idea they're going for? Like maybe Mr. Big just sits in the back and has Koslov do the work for him and kind of goes out and attacks for him. I guess I could see that happening. Then the Ice him. Mr. Big calls in a limo to take care of the furthest backline enemy. Limo picks up the enemy, and after a few seconds they return to battle frozen and take damage per second while frozen. This freeze will not end until the frozen enemy is below 1% of their max HP. I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh, a limo just picks them up, and after a little bit they come back frozen. That reminds me kinda of Lock, Shock, and Barrel's like move where they come and grab someone, and then they're just like stuck in the bag for a second. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The one request. When an enemy is scared while frozen, the remaining duration of the freeze is increased. Alright. Then Show Some Respect, which has the picture of Mr. Big from the thumbnail. Mr. Big gains armor whenever he damages a frozen enemy with his basic attack up to a maximum. Enemies are frozen by Polar Freeze longer if they're above 1% of their max HP. His friendships are with Mr. Big. His friendships are with Baloo and Judy Hopps. Baloo, I think is really funny. We got two bears kind of going up together. I'd love to do a bear team now. I don't think we have 5 bears. I can't even think right now. I think we only have like the 2. I guess we could always get Mordu from Brave, and that would be another one. But we don't have enough bearers, I don't think, for that. I might be blanking, but... And then Judy Hopps makes a lot of sense. They were pretty much friends in the actual movie. And then, like I said, they had the improvements to the invasion and the difficulty scaling. And then let's look at the new hero locations and content adjustments. So we're getting the level cap increased. Heroes are now available to get to red plus 19, which I thought we were getting yellow pretty soon. I guess we're not. Maybe we'll get red 20, or maybe they'll, instead of doing red 20, we'll go straight to yellow. But I know that's supposed to be coming soon. The new chapter, chapter 40, the portal room, is available. It's got Li Shang, Belle, Ian, Captain Amelia, Kermit, and Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Kermit's pretty new. Lock, Shock, and Barrel were contest characters, so it's a little bit easier way to get them. And the rest are pretty common. The new hero is in the diamond crates, like I said, and Kermit is in the elite campaign, like we just mentioned there. And then finally, the update is planned for Tuesday, and it's a full app update, which means that we should be getting some new data mine characters as well, which we only know of one right now, so hopefully we find some new ones. I'm really excited for that. I just want to say, I don't know, were we expecting more patch notes today? Because I know like we're supposed to get the cap raise and everything, and I guess I didn't realize we didn't get it in the previous patch notes. So I guess people must have known that we were getting another character today, but I didn't. I just made that video about the Rocketeer and then moved on with my day. And I just happened to look at Facebook and saw that someone had posted this was here as well. And it was so surprising to me. So that's exciting. And we didn't know Mr. Big and Koslov as well. They were not data mined. So I always love being surprised, and especially when it's such a surprise. Like, there's no way to predict Koslov and Mr. Big. Like, you might have wanted it, but I don't think anyone thought it was actually likely. And that's the character that I love. These random characters that you're like, there's no way they're ever going to get in the game. I would love it if they did, but they won't. And then they do. And I really love that. And as I said before, I think this kind of opens the door to more Zootopia characters. Clawhauser could have been its own thing, but now that we've gotten 2, it kind of feels like we could get more. Muppets just got like 3 characters in a row, and they could still get more as well, for all we know. But unfortunately, I just did my Zootopia team, so I'm not going to do another one with Koslov, which is a little unfortunate. I just really didn't see another Zootopia character coming, I guess. But I'm still happy about it. I do like Zootopia, and I don't know who else they should add from Zootopia as a thing. I would love to see Gazelle, I guess, really, is the only one I want. And I'm a little disappointed if they don't add Gazelle. But yeah, I really hope we get Gazelle as well. And I'm really curious to see Mr. Big in-game as well. I didn't mention that all that much, but I want to see Koslov holding Mr. Big. That's going to be really funny. Or I guess he's probably not even holding him. I'm guessing he's just sitting there somewhere. And it might be the case with like Kristoff and Sven where Mr. Big isn't even in the normal icon, and then he's just in the battles, you know what I mean? Like in the menus, you don't see him, but then when you actually go in the battle, then he appears. That may be what happens, and that'll be a little bit sad. I know it's just sad when a duo doesn't have both the characters completely represented. And it's hard to make thumbnails for that as well, but still. I'm super excited. I don't know, you can probably tell I'm really excited. Sorry this is a little bit later. Like I said, I didn't know this was coming. And I'm really excited to unlock them on Tuesday. So thank you for watching, and I will see you then. Goodbye.